the roommate who never did the dishes. Hey, welcome back to Business Tune. Let's dive in. So I had this roommate once and we agreed to split the dishes. Week 1 was perfect, but by week 3 I was doing everything. And I kept doing it because I didn't want drama and I thought if I just stayed nice, he'd eventually step up. But he never did. And here's what I didn't understand back then. I thought I was being mature, but what I was actually doing was teaching him that he could get away with it because every time I washed his dishes without saying anything, I sent a signal that there's no consequence. And this isn't just about dishes. It's about every relationship you were in and every time someone pushes a boundary and you say nothing. Let me tell you about this scene from the movie 21 where Ben Campbell is in class and the professor puts him on the spot with this problem. 3 doors and 1 has a car and 2 have goats, and Ben picks door number 1. But then the professor, who knows what's behind every door, opens door number 3 and shows him a goat and then asks if he wants to switch to door number 2. And most people say no because emotions kick in, doubt and paranoia and all that. But Ben doesn't think with his gut, he thinks with maths. Because when he first picked, he had a 33% chance of being right, which means there's a 67% chance the car is behind one of the other 2 doors. And when the professor opens a goat door, that 67% doesn't disappear. It shifts entirely to the remaining door. So if you switch your odds, jump from 33% to 67%, and Ben switches, and he's right because the math doesn't care about your feelings. There's this other scene in Casino Royale where Bond is at a poker table playing high stakes and every decision matters, raise or fold or call, and he's reading the table and calculating odds because every move is a strategic decision based on incomplete information. And then someone gets poisoned and the whole game stops, but even in that chaos, decisions have to be made fast, and it's the same logic: analyze and decide and move. Because game theory isn't just about cards, it's about decision making under pressure when outcomes depend on what others do. Now let me tell you about the Cold War, because this changed how I see everything. The US and Soviet Union were locked in a nuclear standoff, and both sides had enough weapons to destroy each other completely, and it sounds like a zero-sum game, right? But here's what happened. They started talking and taking small steps with arms reduction treaties and incremental trust building, and they broke this massive tension into smaller games. And in those smaller games, cooperation was actually the winning move, because if both sides kept escalating, both lose. If one side attacks, both lose, but if both cooperate, both survive. And the best way to win isn't always to crush the other side. Sometimes it's to help them not lose. So what is game theory really? It's the study of strategic decision making when your outcome depends on what other people do. And it's not about monopoly. It's about how you split work with a coworker and how you negotiate your salary and how you handle conflict. And the crazy part is most of life isn't a one-time game. It's repeated and you'll see these people again, and that changes everything. There was this political scientist named Robert Axelrod who ran an experiment where people submitted strategies for a repeated game where you could either cooperate or betray your opponent round after round. And the winner was this strategy called tit for tat. And here's how it works. You start by cooperating and then you do exactly what the other person did last time. So if they betray you, then you betray them back once, but if they cooperate again, you forgive immediately and that's it. No grudges and no being a pushover. Just clear and fair and forgiving. And tit for tat didn't win every single round, but it won overall because it created enough cooperation to come out ahead. Most people play life wrong because they either always try to win and burn every bridge, or they always try to be nice and get walked over, and both lose. But the real strategy is to be cooperative, but not weak. So if someone takes advantage of you, respond clearly and proportionally, and then move on. And if someone keeps cooperating, keep cooperating back. And that's what I should have done with my roommate. I should have stopped doing his dishes and let the sink pile up and made the consequence clear and then reset when he stepped up. Because fairness isn't weakness, it's the strategy that works. So here's what you do today. Identify where you're being a pushover and respond proportionally just once, and then forgive fast if they correct course. And walk away from bad games if someone keeps defecting, and check your sunk costs because the money is gone and the time is gone. And the only question is, what do you do next? Life isn't about winning every interaction. It's about creating systems where cooperation wins. Because always trying to win makes you lonely, and always being nice makes you a doormat. But leading with cooperation and standing up when it matters and forgiving quickly, that's how you actually win. And Ben Campbell switched doors because the math told him to, and Bond played the odds at the table, and the US and Soviet Union chose cooperation over destruction. And my roommate, I stopped doing his dishes and he got the message and we reset and it worked. So do the dishes, but only if they're doing theirs too, because the goal isn't to win every game, it's to keep playing with people worth playing with. That's it for today. See you next time.